first competitive international goal, James Collins. Morgan pulls it across and the deflected effort from James McLean is in. It's a long overdue international goal for James McLean, and it's a moment to celebrate after a weekend of high pressure for the Ireland manager. With just over half an hour left, this is something that they have to get a win from. They have to turn this around. Here's Troy Parrott. Could he be the man to be the Irish hero? He has! It's his first international goal for Troy Parrott, and it's a rescue act that he started to perform here. They needed that.
Did they ever? It's an excellent run from Troy Parrott. It opens up for him. He's still got a lot to do. He bides his time, waits for the perfect opportunity, and calmly finds the back of the net. It's a great response to going behind.
It's Knight with the ball in. Curtis was narrow, but McLean will keep it alive here. First time cross from Conor Harahan, and Ika couldn't keep it out. And Parrott is on the mark again. He's turned it around single-handed.
In tough times, need big characters, need people to stand up and be counted. And Troy Parrott's done that. It's an excellent ball, but he attacks it well.
Certainly the first half, the game was very much out of keeping with the backdrop. But Ireland in this second half have dominated, and they've made that dominance count again with a first international goal for Jason Knight. In terms of maiden goals, it has been a good night for Ireland. And Knight joins the club of goal scorers for his country.
That's an excellent ball. There was a ball in from the left early in the second half, where he was on his heels, Jason Knight, didn't get across his man, and he knew himself.
Here's Doherty. That one's in towards Daryl Horgan! It's 4! And that's the first time he scored at senior level 2. Ireland making it look more comfortable than it looked at 1-0 down, but they're ending the game on a high.
Quality. Terrific ball in, right in the gap between the goalkeeper and the defence. And again, Horgan doesn't wait.
So, Jamie McGrath with the corner, heading to half-time in Faro. There's the goal! The Republic of Ireland lead in Portugal, and it's John Egan. What a goal! And he celebrates in front of the handful of Irish supporters who are here in Faro. As the ground goes silent, the Republic of Ireland lead. There'll be 5 added minutes.
It's clipped in, he gets across everyone, flicks it in the far corner. What a brilliant header. What a turn up for the books this is. Brilliant header. Rui Patricio getting nowhere near it.
The night.
McLean, sit in play, Cullen. Nice angle here, goes around the back, Duffy's header! 1-1! Finally it falls for the Republic of Ireland. Incessant pressure in this second half.
Nothing the goalkeeper can do to keep this one out. It's all about the quality of the ball from Cullen, the header from Duffy. And eventually Ireland get the goal they deserve in the second half to get the back on level 10. And there's the delight of Stephen Kenny.
Knocking at the door with greater regularity now. Robinson flings in the cross. Egan was up there. It's gone in! It's an own goal! It's gone in off Milenkovic!
Well, the roof's been blown off. It's taken a bit of luck. I'll tell you what, they've deserved it. For their pure endeavour, spirit, effort.
Cullen again. McLean. And this is Robinson! Making headlines for all the right reasons now for Stephen Kenny.
See the position he picks the ball up in. He wanted it initially, it didn't come his way, but he didn't stand still. He continued moving forward. Excellent first touch. What about that for a hit?
Scaroff turning into trouble there against John Egan. Here's Horgan. Trying to slide him. Callum Robinson again. Can he pull it off a second time? Oh, he has!
It does get help. It does get a deflection. Even so, the goalkeeper will still feel he should have done better. He sees it from a long way out.
Here's Cullen with the corner. And it's over the line, and they've done it. They've got the third goal that surely secures it.
Great story. Callum Robinson's in front of the goalkeeper. I wondered whether he got a touch at first or not. Bennett waiting for it, sees it all the way. Robinson.
Evo Bennett in one-on-one situations and not crowded space.
Here's a shooting opportunity, deflected it in! What a few days he's having, Callum Robinson. Ireland with the early lead.
Really early, but starts it off with a little pass here. Little 1-2 around the corner, sets him up, comes in, and as he hits it, takes a deflection, but again, just full of confidence, full of hitting them. Great play.
Well, for Callum Robinson, he scored indeed. Ireland have dominated from the very first whistle. Robinson to make it 2, never in doubt, Callum Robinson.
It's a classy penalty, just steps up. You can tell he's so confident he's going to score this. No questions whatsoever. Sends the keeper the wrong way, and Ireland are absolutely cruising.
Yeah, Jamie McGrath, who has a brilliant penalty record under Jim, heading towards halfway.
He just took the words out of my mouth. I think he's just trying to get involved. I think
he's actually issuing some instructions at the moment. Hendrick, great ball, Robinson in, Robinson hat-trick! Well, that's a superb Republic of Ireland goal! And a landmark night for Callum Robinson! Well, look at the part that Jeff Hendrick plays here, the weight on this pass, the run from Robinson, pointing exactly where he wanted in a slide rule finish.
But this goes back, we recycled the ball, we had a passage of play building up to this, going back from an earlier pass.
And Duffy getting to this one, and Duffy powering it in! It's a trademark Shane Duffy goal!
It strengthens the arm to get up, and it just gets in the centre of the area. Great header from Shane. He's just phenomenal in those situations.
Well, Hassan again went to wrestle with him. Duffy just swatted him aside.
I like Egan and Doherty's positions as well, but in around the goalkeeper. See what happens. There's the goal. There's the goal. The Republic of Ireland lead in Luxembourg. Shane Duffy.
But what a ball in from Cullen. No offside. The goalkeeper's just tried to palm at it again. Said it, get pressure on him. He hasn't got a clue, the keeper. Completely and utterly comes for nothing. It was a little bit.
Just a little too strong for O'Bennett, but he ain't going to give up, and he won it back off Chanel. Jeff Hendrick. That's a lovely ball. Knight, no flag so far. O'Bennett, 2-0.
So much good in the whole move. A brilliant ball in, brilliant back heel, and a little dink over. Magnificent goal, great play. This is the stuff we're talking about. That's evolving. This is the way you like to look. They haven't played great to start this second half.
And one other, we'll tell you about that in a minute. Till gives that away. That was Olivier Till, the one who started the match. James McLean. Jason Knight is free, and he's screaming for the ball here. Here is Knight, has to hit it first time. Robinson! The icing on the cake. Callum Robinson.
By McLean to the far post. The run, the willingness to get in the box. Knight again, unselfish, great little flick back.
Robinson with yet another goal. It's a lovely goal, lovely to watch. We haven't seen this from Ireland, an Irish team for a while, for a long time. So much good stuff when they go forward.
Biggest achievement for me is putting on the green jersey.
Getting the call up.
Getting called for the Republic of Ireland.
Either making my debut for Ireland or playing in the Europa League with Dundalk.
Winning 80 caps.
Playing for my country.
Playing for my country.
Playing for Ireland.
Putting on the Ireland jersey.
Making my senior debut.
I think again being selected for the senior national team.
Over 300 games at Wolves.
Getting promoted with West Brom.
Making me debut for Ireland.
Probably playing in the Premier League.
Getting cap for Ireland. Playing for my country and playing in the Premier League. Same again, playing for my country and playing in the Premier League.
I'd say probably getting promoted with Bournemouth to the Premier League.
I suppose just getting to this level. I think it's hard enough to get there, so just getting to this level.
Senior football debut was... Why do I not remember it? It was in Europa League for Everton against AEK Athens away.
Bulgaria at home.
Go away with Derry City.
My senior debut was against Bulgaria.
Finland away.
Doncaster away.
Iceland at home.
Barna away for Brighton in the Cup.
June 2008, Derry City versus Bohemians.
Against Bray in Tallaght Stadium.
Against Athlone Town for Salt of Devon in the First Division.
Cardiff away.
Longford Town away in the Cup for St Pat's.
Cork City against Bows.
Debut Sligo Rovers against Derry City in the Brandywell. 4-0 defeat Halloween night.
Playing in a World Cup or Champions League.
To get as many caps as I can.
Get as many as I can before I retire.
To play in the Premier League. Playing the Premier League every week.
Keep going and play as high up as I possibly can. Get as many games for my country as I can and hopefully play in the Premier League. Play at the highest level for as long as possible.
To be an established striker and play in the Premier League.
To play in the Premier League. As many caps and appearances as possible.
Get many more.
Play in the Premier League.
Main ambition to win something with my club and to get to another tournament with my country.
To be a top striker.
Be the best as I can.
Play in the Premier League.
Just to carry on enjoying football, try and help the younger players coming through and try and help Nottingham Forest get promoted.
To play in the Premier League.
Keep getting as many caps as I can. I'd love to qualify for a major tournament. That'd be two big goals for me.
Jason Lumby, Brighton Hove Albion, Ireland.
Your favourite position?
Sorry.
Your main ambition for the future?
Just to... Difficult one. Can we cut this bit? Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Ask me the question again.
Whenever you're ready.
James McLean, Ireland.
Favourite position?
Shut up. Oh, I did it again. I did it again. Go on.
You want to just say your name, your club, and your country?
I was like, that's full name, yeah? Not my nickname.
Whichever you want.
I'll just say full name. Chidozie O'Bennett, Wadham United, Republic of Ireland.
Biggest achievement to date?
Ooh. Jesus. Does it normally take this long? Biggest achievement?
Yeah. Just say making your debut or something.
Biggest achievement, over 300 games at Wolves.
And then your first car?
First car? It's a Mercedes A-Class.
First car was?
It was a Peugeot. I'm joking, it was a Corsa.
Senior football debut?
Oh, Jesus. Senior football debut was... Why I do not remember it? It was in Europa League for Everton against AEK Athens away.
Your favourite goal? Just say your name, your club, and your country.
What, now?
Yeah.
Ryan Manning, Swansea City, Republic of Ireland.
Then your first car.
Haven't got a car. You don't got a car? I don't even drive. Do you know? No. That's an interesting one. Should have said a Punto or something.
Your first car.
Range Rover.
Delete that. I can't, it was though. Oh.
My goal against Bulgaria for Ireland.
Byrne finding Stevens. Collins! Yes!
First professional goal against Fulham.
And here's a chance for Manning! And a moment he will never forget!
Man City at home.
First goal for Ireland and first goal in the Premier League.
Horahan! Yes! After the protests comes the perfect answer.
Favourite goal would probably be my second goal against Preston in the cup.
Stieperman. Ripley's clearance. It's Eder again.
Wales.
Again against Wales, James McLean's winner.
Probably my second against Rangers.
Outlet to make something happen for St Mirren again. He's helped that on to Obika, and it is in, and St Mirren have turned this one. It's Jamie McGrath once more. St Mirren from one down, now lead 2-1. Jamie McGrath's run just keeps on going and going.
Haven't scored many, so I'd say Notts Forest away.
My first Premier League goal.
Zenit St Petersburg away.
An awful header from Mauricio.
and you just knew when Daryl Horgan got the wrong side of the defenders that they weren't going to catch him, and it was just a matter of whether he could keep his head and find the back of the net, and that's exactly what he did.
When I was on loan at Weymouth, free kick.
Where's that? Who's that? So good afternoon everybody, you're very welcome to today's press conference with Stephen and Jonathan. We will be doing some live TV etc, or some TV interviews outside afterwards, and then we'll come back in for a daily's embargo and a Sunday's embargo. This section is live, so everything that happens from now till we shout stop to go outside is live and is available to be used straight away. So just to introduce us to the afternoon's events, would you please welcome Jonathan again.
Thank you, Carl. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm delighted to be here today with Stephen Kenny as we confirm the extension of his contract as Ireland manager up to the Euro 2024 campaign, and indeed the contract of his assistant Keith Andrews and the key members of his coaching team. This contract extension has been fully endorsed by the board of the Football Association of Ireland, and like them, I'm excited by the prospect of the journey our team and Stephen will continue to take together over the next 2 years. I do firmly believe that this is really important, that we continue to have an Irishman at the very top of our Irish coaching system. Something I believe is really important for the Irish football community and indeed the wider Irish public to see and hopefully to celebrate. As you all know, Stephen has come from a grassroots background at Belvedere and onto the League of Ireland before managing our under-21s and now our seniors. So Stephen has come from the very core of Irish football and is now, with Vera Powell, the standard bearer for Irish coaching as he drives his team and our game forward for our players, coaches, volunteers and fans alike. The vision statement in our recently announced strategy document is to use football to inspire the nation and connect communities. And I think Stephen and the team can and will do both. So we look forward to our first game of the new international season against Belgium in our centenary match on March the 26th. And I and the board wish Stephen and his players and staff all the very best of luck and success moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Dave Kelly from RTE, please. Dave.
Stephen, first of all, congratulations. Did you
Thank you.
always feel this day would come?
Certainly, listen, we finished the season strongly, and obviously when the Nations League draw was interesting, of course, Ukraine and Scotland and Armenia, and it's a huge privilege to manage Ireland in the Nations League and for the European Championships for the qualifiers over the next couple of years, and so we've rebuilt the team over the last while. I think we've seen that, and the support have really connected with the players. I think it's been a radical change, really. We've brought through 15 players to our own system, over the last year or so, which is quite a radical shift, and players that have come through the underage system right throughout the clubs throughout Ireland into the international teams and right into the senior international team. The supporters are identifying with the players. The team is playing in a style that people can really get excited by and relate to. They look forward to going to games. We know we still have a lot of improvement to do, and we want to continue to improve, and we've big tests ahead. Obviously, the world #1 team coming, in a few weeks, Belgium and Lithuania, and then of course Ukraine, who are quarterfinal recently in the World Cup, and also Scotland, of course, who've been flying.
But obviously, just from a personal point of view, it's clearly a huge vote of confidence in you.
Well, I think I appreciate all the support I get from everybody, and I have a brilliant team, background team. I think Keith Andrews, the assistant manager, we've been together now since the under-21 team, and he's been absolutely terrific. And all of the background team, Dean Kiley, all of the background team, and I think and we've had great support from within the FAI as well, and from all the Irish support, who home and away have really been giving the players a tremendous lift.
Thanks, Dave. Bernard?
Yeah, Stephen, congratulations. I suppose just to elaborate on what Dave was saying, I suppose there's a lot of noise last year about your future, good and bad. What does this do for you now in terms of you can just concentrate on football?
Yeah, I know it's a territory, like I have to. I understand that and accept it. Like that, there is criticism, and that's part of international management, and it hasn't been straightforward. Of course, we've had to, come through a difficult period, and I think so. Yeah, I think it's great that we can really focus on. It's very clear now. We just focus on getting the team ready for the friendlies and for the Nations League, and because we've rebuilt the team, so we're not looking to overly experiment anymore. Now we know what we have now, and we've completely. There's a great connection between the experienced players in the squad, who are brilliant professionals, brilliant role models for the younger players who've come in, and there is a great sort of spirit in the squad. You feel that over the last 10 games particularly, and over the last campaign really at times. I know we've played better in some matches than others, but you can feel it growing, and I feel we're going to get better again.
And just on that, concentrating on football, I suppose, is one part of the jigsaw still missing. Are you any closer to having a replacement for Anthony Barry? How's that going?
Listen, it's quite possible we could have another coach in before the Belgian game, but we'll deal with that in due course.
Thanks, Brian. Gavin.
Stephen, congratulations.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you.
What success for you under this new contract?
Yeah, no, I think the ambition is obviously to go to Germany and qualify for the European Championships. That's I realise that's the big ambition, the big dream. I think to go back to where Ireland started in the European Championships, first ever European Championships. We want to go back to Germany, if it's back to Stuttgart or wherever it is. All right, we that's the big dream for Ireland to qualify for the European Championships, and no stone will be left unturned in attempting to do that, and we have to try and achieve that, and do everything we can to try and get there. Now with this team, who all at different stages of their career, we've players who maybe it's their last opportunity to get to a European Championships, and some who have their whole careers ahead of them, who want to make their mark in international football. So that's the big ambition, to qualify for the European Championships.
Who are you looking at to replace Anthony Barry?
I've no real update on that at the moment.
There was a suggestion that you might have held on to him had the contract renewal process. I think it's probably not accurate, because I think he made his decision to go to Belgium, and we respect the decision, and it's a professional decision, so we respect that, and that's it really. Disappointed to lose him, or is it a case of?
I have a great relationship with Anthony, and this is it's not unusual in international football. If you look at Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales, they've all their systems have moved over in the last 8 year to 18 months. They've had changes, so it's not unusual in international football. It's part of international football.
And just lastly from me, obviously, perhaps Jonathan can give insight here as well. I mean, it's early December, I think, since the board sanctioned the renewal. It's taken a few months to get it over the line. Why was there that delay?
Why was there a delay? Well, I think it's only a minor delay, really. Like, I mean, from Christmas to March, we're here now. It's March. It's signed. So there's a lot of. It's not just myself. You've got to. We have a whole background team that we've got to address and so forth. So I think it's. We're delighted. Listen, this is a good thing. We're not looking back and say, why did it take 3 months rather than a month or whatever. Like, I think it's the whole board of the FAI, there's a whole wider sphere and so forth, and a lot of things have to be managed in a big organisation like this. I think so. I think it's irrelevant really. The only thing that matters is that
it's signed now and we can move forward. You know?
Yeah, if I can add to that, Stephen, it was generally just the to and fro of a negotiation. Stephen wanted to get the contract right from his own perspective. We wanted it to be right for the association as well. We met in early December and we had a very positive meeting at that point. Stephen made it clear that he also wanted the contract of Keith Andrews and the rest of the coaching staff to be agreed as part of that process. So we added that into the mix as well. And yeah, we felt actually that we did it in a reasonable time. And the most important thing is that we've got the right contract and the right parameters for us to move forward.
Thanks, Gavin. Gavin?
Jonathan, how are you?
Good, thank you.
You've been seen more and more frequently at League of Ireland games. I was wondering, what's your opinion of the facilities that you're sitting around at the moment?
Okay, well, it's a slightly separate question from what we're here to talk about in relation to Stephen. Stephen knows the League of Ireland well. You know, I'm excited by generally the start of the new League of Ireland season. I think we're seeing some significant crowds going to the games and a real buzz around the games, which I do think is connected to what Stephen and Vera are doing with the international teams. Look, all of us want to have international class facilities for the League of Ireland. We've talked about it the last time we were here in relation to our strategic vision. It is one of our 6 core pillars in relation to facilities and infrastructure, not just for the League of Ireland, for grassroots and indeed for the international team and teams. But as we said then, it would take some time for us to formulate our plan in relation to that. Once we do, we will take it to government and we will talk with them along with the clubs to make sure that those facilities, and as I say, the facilities for Stephen and all of the international teams are at the right standard that we want for progress to be made.
You've done English grounds all your life, I imagine. But when you come into these grounds, Brian Kerr was asked by Steve Bruce one of them that said, why doesn't the FAI focus on these stadiums that are in rag order? Like, what's your opinion of what you're seeing here on the ground? Is there not easy fixes like Wi-Fi, for example?
Yeah, Wi-Fi is important for you guys, and I understand that. And we had a conversation about that with you accordingly, and I understand all of that, and it's just as important for our fans as well. Look, as I say, the real sea change in English football came actually on the back of two pretty major disasters, and I think the investment that was made into infrastructure at that point has helped English football move forward. And I would like to hope that the government and other parties and the clubs and the owners of the clubs will see that what we want to have are the right facilities that are fit for purpose for the current fans and new fans and families to come and enjoy the experience in a safe way. So look, I think we all agree that we want that to happen, but we all understand that that's going to need considerable investment. And to get that investment, we have to have a very clearly defined and articulated plan, and that's what we're working on at the moment.
On Kaiser?
Just if I can just add just on another issue there in relation to, I think we're going beyond the issue. You know, there is a change now. There is no League of Ireland fans and non-League of Ireland fans. I think what we have now in Ireland starting to emerge is just football fans. You know, players are people who love the game, and that's at all levels. And people can follow teams passionately in Ireland and simultaneously in other countries if they want to do that, and that's not an issue. And we're seeing that grassroots, people from grassroots and the League of Ireland, we're seeing that with 18,000 tickets been sold in for the games and season tickets, you know, and hopefully even more, and hopefully for that we can get as many sellouts as we can throughout the year. And you're seeing with the League of Ireland, I was obviously in Inchicore last week, you know, there's been some full houses throughout the country, and it's great. And you're right, the facilities are, you know, not good enough, nowhere near good enough. And if the facilities are better, you feel we get more supporters and have a better league. You know, because it's all linked to finance and having better crowds, and then better, you know, keeping the best players. That's all part of it. Yeah. Oh, just to add.
Okay, thank you. Alan?
Stephen, I know you've got your coaches tied down. Have you retained your medical staff or they recorded that as well?
Yeah, well, listen, everything will be sorted out in due course. Ideally, we want to keep everyone, and that's certainly the plan. No.
Daniel.
Jonathan, can I just ask, in the context of the hunt for a new sponsor, which is obviously a sort of recurring topic, how important is certainty in terms of the senior management team? Does that help in terms of clarity, in terms of the road ahead?
Yeah, look, obviously certainty, stability are all things that you would want to be talking about when you're talking to all of your partners, both existing and prospective. So, look, I think companies and brands looking in at what Stephen has done and the momentum that he has with the team, and Stephen's talked about the number of fans who will be who have come to our more recent games and will hopefully come to the 2 games in March. The direction of travel is positive, and those are the things that we'll be talking about in relation to the opportunity around the men's senior team. Stephen is at the is the figurehead, if you like, of that team. So to have certainty and to have a plan and forward momentum, as I say, in relation to hopefully qualification for Euro 2024, that's something that any sponsor will be interested in. As much, and I've said this to you before, we hope they'll be interested in what the team actually represents, and I think that is a very modern and progressive and diverse island, and I've got no reason to believe that a business or a brand won't be interested in that moving forward.
Anyone else in the live section? Nathan?
Stephen, just obviously the environment, but your own role at one stage was maybe greater than just a senior team manager within the FAI. Do you see your job now just looking after the senior team, or do you have influence through the structures, the appointment of the new director of football, the new title there?
No, listen, I certainly won't be appointing the director of football, or you know, that's for sure. I think that's a collective FAI decision. You know, that's a collective FAI decision. I think, and I have a great relationship with all of the managers. Well, a good relationship with all of the managers, and we meet frequently, you know, to discuss, and they present on their various camps, and that's. I haven't had more of an input or less of an input since I took over. I just had a consistent input. I never micromanage any coach or insist on that he selects someone or play a certain way in terms of a system. I think so it's they have the freedom, the coaches have the freedom themselves. Sometimes there are parameters that, you know, but that came from the doctor and technical director, but I think the previous technical director, but certainly no, I'm here to support the managers, and they're feeling I want them to always feel included in the senior international setup, and they have access to all the information we have and access to any training sessions or to be a part of the senior inter squad. We want the players to seamlessly come through the systems. Obviously we accelerate the progress of players quickly. When I became under 21 manager, we picked the best 17-year-olds. Gavin Bazunu, you know, Troy Parrott, Jason Knight, Adam Ida. We picked, they were Jason and Adam were 18, Troy and Gavin were 7. Picked all the best players that we felt, not the players who are physically the strongest for that level. We felt the players with the greatest potential who could impact the senior team in the future in the best way possible. The players we felt had the greatest potential, and we'll be consistent with that. And right throughout the ages, players have been moved up, you know, to try and give them the chance at the highest level possible.
And look, just to add to that, I hope I can say that Stephen and I have a good relationship. We meet on a regular basis. I don't think there's any topic that we wouldn't have a conversation about and talk through, and I value Stephen's opinion as much as I value the opinion of all of the other international managers, and I sit in that meeting as well. That group were very much part of the consultation process for the strategic vision document as well. So I think we're very comfortable in the way in which we interact. So.
Stephen, just the record season ticket sales, especially in a year with no qualifiers, how important is it for you and the team to see that level of sport on the
Well, that's particularly significant. That's not a World Cup qualifying year, and it's not Europe. That's particularly significant, and I think it's a connection with the supporters and the players, you know. And I think they're identifying. You know, we've seen players really grow, and some players who we hope will become real heroes for the Irish team, for the Irish public, and that's what we hope, and that they really identify with them. We already have like sort of a role model captain in James Coleman, and he's a great role model for all of the players. So I think it's an exciting period, and there's great energy in the crowd when the players are there. You've seen it against Serbia, 1-0 down, up against it, and coming back again to equalise and support really. And we hadn't got that in, for ages. The empty stadium just isn't the same. It isn't, and I think we've seen it in Porto against the Portuguese when they came to the Aviva, and it was just an excellent game, and a game that we could have won, and I think it was supporters really enjoyed that, I think, and as some of the recent games.
And again, just to add to that, from my perspective and the association's perspective, I think it's absolutely fantastic the response that we've had from the fans to this year, as Stephen says, in theory, a non-qualification year for one of the two major tournaments. So we're very thankful for that. We're not complacent about it at all. But I think it's amazing that in that first weekend of the March friendly games, we're likely to be one of the only countries in Europe that will have a sold-out stadium. We've crossed our fingers that we will do, and I think that's testimony to the support that we do have, and that's hugely appreciated.
Playing for Ireland is very important to the players, and we say it has to be the most, it has to supersede anything they do in their career, and we want they understand that, and we want the supporters to feel that their commitment has been rewarded, and we want we want that passion in the ground as we try and improve as a team again and get better results, and try and go on and do well in the Nations League, try and do well in the group, in a tough group, try and do well in the Nations League and take that into the European Championship qualifying campaign.
Okay.
So is there any clarity, Jonathan, on the situation with the games in June? I know it's stated by this week, but just when do you expect to know if there is?
No, obviously it's a good question. We're talking with both UEFA and FIFA in relation to what type of solutions can be found. It's obviously a very complex situation, and as of yet we haven't had an answer in relation to our own games. But as we said recently, we will be as flexible and as supportive as we can be.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to do TV outside and then we'll come back in a few minutes. Thank you.